have people coming and tell me, Helena, go and become a grandmother. Why you want to be all this speaker? Why you attend class? Why you invest in all this, wasting money, wasting time? Go traveling with your husband and blah, 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 A to Z. Fortunately, I listened to the little voice in my heart. No, Helena. Believe in yourself. Continue what you want to do. What others says about you, what other tries to change your mind, it is not important. It is what is inside you. And I remembered my mom in a grave, in the coffin. I don't want to die with the dream.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been patiently waiting for the next episode. Life sometimes got busy, but this podcast and the power story behind the podcast have never left my heart. And what a better way than return with episode number 77, a number that is personal, special to me, and an episode that is incredibly close to my heart. Today, I'm so honored to introduce you to Helena Soh-Chin, my fellow Malaysian sister from East Malaysia as well. So Helena is a keynote speaker, a woman of resilience, and someone who has gone from feeling muted and now becoming a muse for others. Her story is a beautiful reminder that it's never too late to start again, to find your voice and live with purpose, no matter your age, your background, or your journey. So without further ado, let's dive in and let Helena inspire you the way she has inspired me. Hi Helena, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have Helena today. As some of you might have already know, Helena is also a Malaysian. That's why I'm super excited when I know Helena. We know each other through one of the speaking course that we're doing together, and when I know she's my fellow Malaysian, I'm super excited. And today I am even more excited because she's going to share with us a lot of golden nuggets and her story. Welcome, Helena.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm just super excited. I was up very early and got the time all confused. But here I am. So let's see what takes off from here.
That's right. Yeah. So Helena, I'm not sure if you did listen to some of my podcasts. The first question that I always ask my guests is that I know that Helena, you are a speaker, you are an international certified speaker now. Congratulations for that. You are a mom, you're a wife, you're a sister. And despite all these roles that you're playing, who is Helena Soh at your core?
This is one of the questions I was searching for the longest time. So if you were to ask me who is Helena Soh, I would say she's someone who never gives up, who is always on the go and chasing what she wants, right to the ones that she has missed out. So she's someone that wants things to be so perfect, it becomes a flaw to her and it makes her procrastinate. But at the end of the day, I think Helena is someone who is very kind and who is always have the love of people and always wanted people to be happy, to be joyful, and to enjoy life, not be stuck at the moments of time, and look at things in a different perspective and shift the paradigm to live a better life.
I love that, seeing things from a different perspective. And I also see that yes, sometimes we do that as well. We want to be perfect. We're trying to do things in the better ways that we become procrastinate. And yes, I do resonate with that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's a core version of Helena. So you want to tell our listeners or our audience, what are you currently doing? I know that you have a phase from muted to muse. What does that mean?
I got married when I was 21. So I think when you got married so young and you are brought up in a very Asian traditional families, you are always taught that silence is golden. Talk less, or maybe you shouldn't be putting yourself out too much. And that becomes something that I've embodied inside me, that I do not know how to set boundaries. And I always sort of like becomes the pleaser. And in the Asian cultures, we always have this, the good girlie, the good girl behavior, and we crave for that. We wanted to be accepted and that sense of belonging. So I noticed this not only during my childhood, and even carried to my marriage. And I become smaller and smaller and smaller each day. And I realized I don't even know who am I. And that's how I started to think, is that the way I want to live for the next 20 years? Mm-hmm. That was 40 years history, but for the next 20 years, or maybe for another 40 years, I do not know how long I'm going to be, that lifespan I'm going to be given, but I like to live a life that's very different. And that's why I started the movement from muted to mused. And in fact, I'm an advocate for a second chapter in life. It could be a marriage is not working, or it could be you have gone into your career that you're stuck, that you want something different. And also, all these things is stuck within us that we do not know. I don't have the skills when I first started because nobody taught me. And the funny thing about us is that as an Asian, we always learned from the very first teacher, and that's our mother. Mm-hmm. What our mother did, we just copied them. And that's not the way to go if you want to do something great. I'm not saying that my mom taught me the bad things, but some of the things that could be improved, like speaking out, mm-hmm. like setting boundaries. You don't have to be the good girl, you don't have to make yourself the nicest. And we were taught to be perfect, because when you're perfect, you are seen as someone glorious, you're seen as someone very accepting in the society. And I grew up with all this concept, and actually it pulls me down. And I was very unhappy, to be honest, for the longest time, until I break free my own shells. Mm-hmm. The shell that has been so hardened that even you want to break it with a hammer, it is so difficult. So that's how one moment to the next moment it takes place. And also I think all these things started with the lost. If I haven't lost my mother, I think that awakening wouldn't have started so quickly. And when I lost my mom, that was 7 years ago, I was in a state of blurriness and constantly waking up like an autopilot, mm-hmm. sleep. You wake up, you do your work, and then your routine is so routine. You don't even know who you are. Mm-hmm. At the same time, we have been portrayed to look so groomed, and we look so perfect and so polished, and nobody knows what is inside of you. Mm-hmm. Until my mom, during my mom's wake, and I was looking into her body, I was looking at a dead body. I said, oh my God, this poor woman, she doesn't even have a life. All her life is to please her husband, to please her children, to please the people around her, and to portray her as someone who's so perfect. Because it comes with a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, and a lot of fear as well. And I don't want that. So from there on, I go on to the next, my daughter. You see, the funny thing is that things will just unfold and unfold without knowing it. And before COVID, it was during COVID's time, and my daughter was having a bad relationship. She was so scrawny. When I first saw her, I almost died. I felt that I want to die. The daughter that I see, she was so skinny, it's like anorexic, you know. I say, how can my daughter become like that? And that's why I told myself, Helena, you got to put a stop to whatever you're doing now. You got to change. it was the most difficult because accepting our flaws was never in on my agenda. Because a lot of shame. There's a lot of shame. And so all these things started the movement. Yeah.
Wow. There's lots of things that like wake up call for you.
Yes, it does. It does. And the marriage is not working. And a marriage is not working. The reason why, when you are not at peace with yourself, when you are not having clarity within yourself, and what you live outside and inside is not congruent, you're actually fighting the demons with you every single day. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know what you're talking. And you only behave what people want. Just like a cake. You want it to be a round shape, you bring a round shape and put a batter in it becomes round. It's exactly what I was living my life.
Wow. That's such a great examples for a lot of women, especially in our culture, because Helena and I, like I say, we were from the same country. We probably have the similar upbringings as well to be a good girl, because that's how we are accepted when we were younger, to portray ourselves as a good girl, to please our parents, our teacher, because if you don't behave in certain ways, probably you get smacked, you will be like yelled at. So that's how we thought that we have to be continued as that good girl, like you say, to like portray us as someone who is perfect, no flaws. And I think this episode is so important, and I hope this episode will reach a lot of women who have similar background as we are, because you were someone that was like from muted to become a speaker now. So you are now even an international certified speaker. So what is that pivotal moment that gone from you feeling small, out of place, to become a keynote speaker now? What is that? I know that you have the experience with your mom, with your daughter, but when is that pivotal moment that you decided to change all 360 altogether?
Good question. Oh, this is a very deep question. Okay. The behaviors that I had and the attitudes and the mindset has been so, very boxed. And when your behavior is like this, or when you speak like this, and when you certain sort of like characterize yourself or label yourself, even that will be carried to your marriage. And I have a lot of marriage problems. I'm not saying that that partner is bad, because we do not know how to negotiate, I would say, or sort of like communicate. I wasn't taught how to communicate. I was just taught to be submissive. But then you carry a lot of resentment, a lot of it. And at times you just feel so frustrated, you feel like boxing someone, because you couldn't express. And when you express, your partner thinks that you're too much, or you're demanding, or you want so much. And I feel that I'm so trapped, I don't have that freedom. So when I felt that way, and the worst part is, I don't like to be financially dependent. As ladies, we have so many things we love. We are quite sort of like a shopping queen sometimes, and then we don't like to ask money and all that kind of things. And I hated those moments. I really hated them. But do I have a choice? I make that choice to stay home and take care of the children. So I have to suck it up. I have to swallow everything. And you have to swallow your pride, to swallow your dignity, and it gets frustrated. For 1 or 2 years, it might be the honeymoon. For the longest period of time, it gets very, very cooked up. You get sort of like trapped. And I think my pivotal points was constantly you hearing voices that tells you, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. And I want to break free. I just wanted it. And I tell myself, once I break free, I'm going to be very unapologetic, right? And also, people do not believe you. Because when you say something, because when you become so small, can I tell you, when you start acting small, your aura, your energy, even your facial, the way you stand, the way you do, everything is so small, people don't take you seriously. Because you tend to make yourself sort of diminishing without you knowing, without you realizing it unconsciously. And I was doing it for the longest time. And that's how your partners, your children, they perceive you. And my pivotal point was that, and my husband, there was one time my husband says, this is too much. Why do you spend? You haven't even made that money. Oh, that breaks me. That breaks me. That makes me go crazy. I said, just wait and see. I'm highly educated. I can. I just don't have that opportunity. So I always take that pain into opportunity, resentment into opportunity. Those people that do not believe in you, I take it into opportunity. Anything that is on the bad side, I turn it around and make it into my opportunity. So that becomes my power. And my biggest superpower is forgiving. I'm a very forgiving person. I always look at forgiveness as a superpower. So I forgive and I turn that things into something opportunity. And that's how I live. And I'm looking at it. It's giving me so much power now because you see, I can, if you asked me 2 years ago, would I be a speaker? No way. I don't even know how to speak on stage. I can't even look at people and speak, and I can't even craft a story. I don't even know how. And if I look back, like this couple of weeks, I was looking back at my Instagram and my Facebook. Oh my goodness, they were all rubbish. It doesn't have anything that's valuable for people. I was just posting it to get attention. Right? And I said, I've grown. When I look back at all this, I've grown, and I started celebrating small little wins that I have. Today I win something, I celebrate it. I've learned to celebrate my life. No longer thinking, oh, that's a small thing. No, I've done something that's significant to the eyes of others. Maybe it's not, but to my eyes, it is. And that confidence, I started building up so much confidence. And it's because woman has that been kept for too long, you tend to lose that values. You just find that you're not worthy. You just find that you are not worthy. Just take for example, recently, in fact, my sister is with me now. My sister. And she's living with Alzheimer's. And I took her for her haircut. And she's always liked to dress up very glam and all that. And now that she couldn't do anything. And she was looking at this picture that has got blonde hair. She said, I want to be like her. But then because she's got sensitivity, and the son left a message with me before she came over with my other sister, don't do any coloring. And when I look at her, I felt sad. So you know, as a woman, we don't even have the choice to make the choice that I want to color my hair. The dignity is not longer there. Because everything is just now. So that's the reason why I tell myself, no matter what it is, I always have to look at the end of black of the tunnel. There is always light. I have to stay focused, just keep on going, and turn everything into opportunity. That's it.
Wow. That's so powerful, Helena. I love that. And I love that you make the decision. And I love that when you say that once I decide, I'm going to go all in and unapologetically.
Yes, unapologetically. You know, when I started this speaking journey, no one believes in me. Even my family. Why do you want to do all these things? Well, how are you going to make money? And who is going to hear your stories? And initially, I gave in. I said, yeah, it's quite true. I believe that story. But I was very fortunate. I was surrounded by the people that believes in me, that like you, I attended classes, it's constantly week in, week out. You will be slowly condition yourself, mold it into someone, like shaving an eyes. You shave, maybe you have a block of eyes that is so raw, it's nothing. But when you start shaving, you can shave into a warrior.
Oh, wow. I had goosebumps listening to Helena. She has such a powerful message. I listened to her speaking before. Her message is always touched my heart, especially. And yeah, seeing Helena grow so much from we first met, and the message that you share with me now is like so on point. A lot of people should have listened to you, and because it's so many women out there that have similar background as you, as like you say, conditioned, and when they believe that they are small, they're going to be like dilute to the background without them knowing it. And it's so true that you just say, and thank you for being honest that you were about to give in to what people said about you. But congratulations to Helena for didn't give up. And seeing you today and having you here sharing your story, I think it's such a great example to show people that anyone can do it as long as you stop believing all this bullshit that people are saying. And for those of you listening or watching, you won't believe what I say, because when I first met Helena, I was jaw-dropping when she tell us about her age. Do you want to tell people how old are you, Helena? Is that a secret?
No secret at all. Because I'm so proud, actually. Because when I started this journey, I was almost 60 years old. I met Kaylee when I was 59. And when I started this journey at 60, I still had doubts. When you are so conditioned to that kind of doubt in yourself, you don't even believe you can do it. But I was reading a lot of those people, like Colonel Sanders started at 65. Even a lot of people started late. A lot of the successful ones. And I asked myself this question, Helena, if you don't do it today, you never even try, how would you know? And even if you try, you won't die. And it's not going to make your skin even thinner. Even you'll make your skin thicker instead. And also, you will gain all the experience that others don't even gain. And I believe in having challenges make you grow. And if you fall, just pick up the pieces. Don't dwell on it on too long. Pick up the pieces, start again. I have people coming and tell me, Helena, go and become a grandmother. Why you want to be all this speaker? Why you attend class? Why you invest in all this, wasting money, wasting time? Go traveling with your husband and blah, 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 A to Z. Fortunately, I listened to the little voice in my heart. No, Helena. Believe in yourself. Continue what you want to do. What others says about you, what other tries to change your mind, it is not important. It is what is inside you. And I remembered my mom in a grave, in the coffin. I don't want to die with the dreams, right? And when I remember my daughter, I want to leave a good example for my daughter. It doesn't matter what age you are, you just have to keep on trying until you succeed. And even if you don't succeed to the level that you want, at least you try. You have to try. Yeah, even when I'm telling you this, it gives me goosebumps because I was like, oh, I really did it, yeah. And I even on podcast today.
Yes, you are. I'm so happy to have this conversation with you, Helena, because with your age, you are like 60 years old and you still showing up.
One this year, next year 62.
Oh wow. So yeah, at the age of 62, Helena still show up. She's still so keen to learn. And now speaking on the stage, going on podcasts, and maybe becoming a writer soon as well, right? And there's so many opportunities coming your way, and you literally make that when people say no to you, you make it into opportunities. See how many things that you have been doing, and you have such a great example for people who are like in their 40, in their 50. They already say, oh, I can't do much thing. But
Yes.
you show people that those things are bullshit. That's not true. Look at Helena.
Exactly.
Yeah, and look at what you have achieved, what you are doing. I love that. And I know that you give me so many golden nuggets just now, but what message can you give to the people, like I say, all these 40 years old, 50 years old, of these women that say it's too late to start something? What message you going to tell them?
Firstly, I'm going to tell those ladies the three things that I started off with. Number one, I allow things to happen. I can't change the fact that it is like that, so I allow it to happen. And the second thing I did was I accepted it. I accepted it. There's going to be challenges. I accepted it. I'm going to face a lot of rejections. I accepted it that people is not going to like me. It's okay. And I embrace whatever comes my way. And people who are still standing on the fence, I like you to ask yourself these questions. Close your eyes and hold on to your heart. Are you truly happy with what you have? Because if you are not, why are you stuck there and not moving? You are not a tree. You can move. So move and find that passion that makes you wake up so alive every day. I feel alive every single day. I have so much in my head. I have so much that I can learn. I never knew about Canva, and because I've learned all this, I can design very nice Canva design now. And I don't even know how to do Zoom. A lot of things. I don't even know AI. I don't even know whatever things. I read books. I'm a ferocious book reader. I read lots of books. But the thing is, technically, I am so at the 0 point. But because of all these things, I'm surrounded with people who are so mega with their technology. And I have this FOMO in me. I got to run faster than anyone else. So if you're at 40, 50, 60, come on. There's so much to be done. Do justice to yourself. I always tell people, you won't die if you try. Just go for it. Right? You won't die. Your skin also will not become thinner. You have a thicker skin and you can do more things in your life. Yeah. Just go for it. Just go for it.
Yeah, I love that. I love the three things that you just shared there, and such a great reminder for us, and just do it and willing to accepting and let go and just do it.
Yeah. Because you cannot change a lot of things. A lot of things we can't change. Just like for me, when my marriage is not working, I accept it. And I ask myself these questions. What can I do to make it better? Because before, I've been married to the same man for 40 years. So imagine 40 years of luggages. He has his own baggages. I have my own baggages. And we are coming to point to unload the baggage. And you cannot unload it in 1 or 2 years. We have upbringings, different beliefs, different core values. Of course, it doesn't come to a conclusion, right? And I accept the fact that the marriage is not working, but what can I do about it? And I'm still working on it, to be honest with you. And I sort of like allow it to happen.
Mhm.
Because if I keep on thinking about it and I want to change it, right? I'm not allowing things to happen. I won't be able to see the nuances that I have to take the actions. So that's what I do. And once I do all this, I start embracing it. When I embraced it and I realized my husband changed, right? And oftentimes we are very on the, like the Chinese is very kanchong. Wow, we want things to be fast at the speed of start. It's because we have been conditioned on instant gratifications. And that's not the way the life it is. If it is so on an instant gratification, everything is so beautiful, you have no growth. Yeah.
Well, so true. And it's such a great, I think, message there as well, because like you say, it's different individuals as husband and wife, and we can't expect our other half to truly understand us as well, and we have to understand that we can't expect them to like always we as a husband or wife, we always say, it's a saying in Chinese or Mandarin, we expect others to be the warmth in your tummy, right? But it's not the truth.
Yes.
And yeah, what's your, because you mentioned about marriage, what is the one tips for people to, I know that you say you're still working on that. So if you have to share one tips for marriage for people who are not in the relationship or people who are just started a relationship, what is your one tips for them?
Okay. I make my daughters write the list down of the man that they want. I wasn't taught that way. My mom tells me, oh, don't find a husband that drinks, don't find a husband that smokes, don't find a husband that this. But she didn't tell me, find a husband that you want. So the universe doesn't understand. You keep on saying, I don't want people who smoke, I don't want people who drinks. So I wasn't taught that way. I didn't know how to ask from the universe, what do I want? I only learn, don't want this, I don't want that, you don't want this, please, I don't do this, I don't do that. That was what we taught, right? We were Asian kind of families. But I like to switch the other way. And I taught my girls to write down the list of the people, the partner that they want. And I even write for myself what kind of person or what kind of person that I want in my husband. I'm not too sure whether you know that I'm also a mental seed planter.
What is that?
Okay. I'm a teacher, teaching people to use mental seeds in your brain.
Okay.
Yes. So in our teaching is that whatever you want, you have to give first. For example, you want to have someone who is loving, you got to give first. So I work on the concept, give before I receive.
That's a very great teaching.
Yeah, so you give before you receive. I would do that. So I use that in my marriage as well. Yeah, so I will give whatever I want. For example, I want a very kind husband. I would tell myself, who can you be kind to today? I will constantly remind myself. And once I do that, being kind, in my mind, I will tell, I'm going to dedicate this kindness to my husband. So I'm doing a lot of work in my mind. That's how we were taught. It's a kind of an 2,500 years ancient teachings. Yeah, so I do that and I incorporate into my daily life. Yes, even my marriage, because it's not easy to live with someone who comes from different backgrounds.
Yes. Yeah, but that's a great reminder as well. Be the change that you want to see in others. And I love that the teaching that you share as well. Whatever we want others to do, we got to do it ourselves as well.
Yes, we got to give first. Yeah. Yes. I had so much challenges with my marriage. It's so crazy. But then I wanted this family so badly. Each time it's challenge, I tell myself, I got to work on it. But sometimes it's always it's at the expense, but you got to look on the brighter side as well. And also we look on being grateful for whatever comes. Only when you have challenges, you can grow. So be grateful for the challenges. Yeah. So when we start to switch that mindset, of course, to some people say, oh, Helena, it's so bad, I can't stay. Then that's too bad. But I wanted it for myself and also for my children, because 40 years of marriage is not just like that. It takes a lot of breaks, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of blood. Everything all comes in a package, you see. Everyone who's struggling, you got to ask yourself, what do you really want? Because nobody can tell you what you want. If you find that it is still worth it to fight for it, then think of ways and means and change yourself. Because I noticed when I wanted it so badly, even your physiology, you have to change.
Yeah.
When your head is tilted up and even I just find it so difficult. I remember I used to walk like that. Because you don't have that confidence, you walk like that. And then your shoulders are curled up. You don't even square up your shoulders because you just find that, oh my God, I'm just too much. So you do like this. And when people say, do you want anything? Oh, no, up to you. You just want to be the nice person. And it's so difficult to shade that off. So difficult.
Yeah, I love that. There's so many teaching that you just shared with us, Helena, and I can definitely I believe that everyone who listens to this going to get a lot out of it. And because it's about I was thinking about how to be confident, how is your speaking journey, and you give us one other tips that I wasn't thinking of asking. It's about your marriage, and it's so true. When you want something so badly, you will find a way. And another thing is that we always focus on the things that we don't want. Like you say, don't want this, don't want this, but we really never ask ourselves what we really want. And it's such a great reminder, and that's the biggest takeaway that I have as well. I'm very well aware of the time, Helena. One other question is that what would you say to the younger version of Helena now?
I would say, just whatever you want to do, just go for it. And just be unapologetic.
Unapologetic.
Yes, be unapologetic. You know why? When you think about being, stopping yourself, you're actually missing out on a lot of opportunities. And it's okay to be alone. I was so fearful to be alone when I was much younger, because I always want to have the sense of belonging. And when you want to have a sense of belonging, you lost yourself, because you sort of like assimilate to be them, to be one of them. And you lost your character, you lost your personality, you lost your core values. So if I would tell the younger self, whatever you think in your heart that you want to do it, just do it.
Just do it. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much golden nuggets that Helena shared with us. I have so much more to pick the brain from Helena, but like I say, I'm well aware of the time. For those of you who really maybe you are in your second chapter of your life, maybe you also wanting to feeling, because you are feeling small, you are similar to our background where we used to be quiet, told to be a good girl. Maybe Helena is the one that you need to talk to find out how you can be more flourish at your second chapter of your life. Even though you're not in your second chapter, I believe that she's going to have so much great advice for you. So for those of these people wanting to reach out to you, where can they find you online, Helena?
They can reach out for me, and they can reach out my Facebook, my Instagram is I am Helena Soh.
Okay, I'm going to include the link of all Helena's socials in the description. Reach out to her and maybe get her to speak at your event, or to maybe just have a chat with her. I'm pretty sure Helena is very happy to speak to you.
Oh,
Thank
I
you
love
so much for your time,
thank you so
Helena.
much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Vivienne, for having me.
Yes. So before we wrap up today, what is your one last piece of advice for the people, for all the women out there?
For all the women out there, remember, your life is in your hands. Either you make it or you break it. Don't turn back. Pick up the pieces, whatever happens, if there is a reason for it, just do it.
Just do it. Either you have it or break it. Is that right?
No, because you don't do it, it's either you break it or you make it, right? But even if you break it, there's a lesson for you. There's no big deal. Like I said, you won't die. Well, the second chapter has never been better for me. I've become so confident now. And I would say a bit bold, right? Because I used to be so timid and then I'd say things, and I've learned a new word, unapologetic. I love this word for now.
Just do it. Be unapologetic and have an amazing second chapter like Helena. Once again, I really enjoy our conversation. Thank you so much for spending time with us today, Helena. And hopefully next time we'll have Helena again to share with us more of her stories and golden nugget. Thank you so much, Helena.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye for now.